says but a lot during her news segment, and the college kids made a drinking game out of it, so every time she said but they had to take a shot, and it kind of reminds me of me in some way. Your voice is so stupid, you deserve whatever happens to you if you decide not to speak up for yourself. Your voice is making my ears bleed. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Ali here, a channel where I talk about sex, relationships, and other weird stuff. All right, we are gonna get right into it today, okay? Today is going to be a reaction video to your comments. Now, I haven't done one of these in a while. I used to have a lot of fun doing them in the past. I called it a series, I'm Going to Hell, because a lot of people would say I'm going to hell. And it would just be me reacting to your funny but mean, rude ass comments. This one in particular is going to be pertaining to a certain video that I published a few weeks ago about a certain travel experience that I had. Okay, you can go ahead and watch that video if you'd like, or if you want, I can sum it up for you in a few minutes. So it was basically me and Gab going to a massage parlor in Thailand. We had gotten, many massages before that, but this particular one was a little bit sketchy. There were a few red flags. Should have listened to my intuition, but I didn't. And it was just like a weird experience that kind of jaded me for a few days after, but now I'm kind of over it. I wanted a regular massage, and the girl was kind of kept pushing me for a happy ending, and it was just weird and uncomfortable, and I was like, no thanks. And that's part of travel. When you are traveling a lot, you are constantly learning about new cultures, new customs, new ways of being with people. Sometimes you find yourself in sketchy situations that end up being the best time of your life, and other times, you should have listened to your judgment a little bit more, but you'll know for next time. So, it's part of life. Anyways, and I also want to let you guys know, when it comes to the comments, I don't delete any comments from my YouTube page, okay? I can easily delete all the negative comments because let's be honest, sometimes they aren't so great for your mental health because you guys, I don't say you guys, sorry. Some people can be so mean, it's crazy. The internet is such a crazy place. And I know when you put yourself out there online, you're putting yourself in a vulnerable position where, people might shit on you. And so you can either take it with grace or not. And I actually even go in my YouTube studio and under the hidden comments, which I guess there's a section where they hide comments that have bad profanity or get flagged because they're just too awful. I actually go in there and I approve some of them because I just really want people to see how awful people can be, and how close-minded and ignorant and just plain rude, because it boggles my mind. Why can't we just all be nice? Yeah, so I have other friends in the YouTube space as well who, do delete negative comments from their page because they say that their space is not a space for negativity. They only want positive vibes, especially if a comment is just mean and it's not meant to be constructive at all. They're like, no, there's no place for that, And like I said, it can be bad for your mental health. So, you just delete them because you don't want to set a negative tone for your channel. But again, it's a personal preference, so I don't delete any of them. I did deactivate the comments on that video for a short while because I'll get to that in a second. It can be a lot sometimes, but yeah. Anyways, that's that about the comments. Many of them said that this video was clickbait. And although maybe it is a little clickbaity, it does have a very, I guess, high SEO topic, happy endings, because people really like happy endings, although this one wasn't so happy. But, a lot of people were kind of expecting a very sexy, sultry story about me getting happy ending by another woman, I guess, and like nothing juicy happened. But I feel like I didn't really lead on with that. I don't know. Like the title on my thumbnail said happy ending ? So there it's already, it's questionable. And my face is kind of cringeworthy in the picture. And it says it's weird and unfortunate, It doesn't say this is gonna be a good story about a sexy happy ending. So, sorry but not sorry that that didn't work out, that I didn't get to satisfy you in that way. But yeah, not all happy endings are happy. Anyways, so, you know, maybe it was a little clickbaity, I guess, but, you know, it is what it is, and that was it. And the next thing, okay, is, look, friends, I know I talk in a certain way, okay? YouTube is all about practice. And one of my biggest insecurities is the way that I speak. And that's why I even started YouTube in the first place, to practice storytelling, to practice speaking, to practice getting words out of my head, because I've always really struggled with that, speaking cohesively and concisely and so on. And when you're doing YouTube videos, either people are just naturally gifted and they have the gift of the gab and are able to storytell really well and so on. And there are obviously, you know, for those who don't, there are different strategies you can do, like scripting and so on. And although I've practiced some of these strategies, sometimes I just want to come on and be me, you know? And so when I filmed that video, it was very much in the mindset of, oh, you know what, I'm just chatting with my girlfriends and I'm just gonna tell this story and publish it and whatever, you know, it doesn't have to be anything fancy schmancy. And yeah, that was kind of the idea behind that. And obviously it was like a little bit awkward to tell as well, because it was awkward, it was an awkward situation. So it was awkward, you know, for me to tell it as well. So I was a little nervous. And there were so many people, well, there are still so many people who, you know, are saying like, oh, you could have said this in 5 minutes. You said a whole bunch of nothing. You suck. You can't tell stories for shit, blah, blah, blah. Like, anyways, the list goes on and on and on. And that's what got to me for a second, because honestly, you could call me bitch, slut, whore, whatever. I don't care about those comments. But I guess, what am I trying to say here? Judging or critiquing my performance in a mean way, because there were some people that gave me soft criticism, which I really appreciated, by the way, and which I responded to. Oh my God, I don't know if you guys hear that, but they're doing construction outside my room, so I apologize if it's loud. Man, there were just people who were just so mean and are still mean. And I feel like it's just they're egging them on, you know, like one person wrote one comment, so then everyone's like, yeah, yeah, and you just kind of join the riot and keep, you know, shitting on someone, stuff like that. So it didn't really make me feel that great. So I did disable the comments for a little bit, but, you know, now I turn them back on because I'm like, ah, whatever, you know, it is me, that's it. Anyways, that being said, I'm, you know, super aware that sometimes I don't really make sense. Sometimes I speak on tangents. Sometimes I say like a lot. I know I say but and like and you know a lot. There's actually this clip from How I Met Your Mother. I don't know if you guys watch it.
Really? You guys watch her show? It's like watching a well-lit aquarium, but not as interesting. Now that I think about it, not as well lit.
The truth is, we watch it for the drinking game.
The who now?
Her morning show comes on so early, we're usually still at the bar. So whenever she does an interview, you have to drink every time she says, but
Does she really say but that much?
That night, we found out just how much she said it.
Oh, that's great. But
Nice.
this wasn't your first spelling bee, was it?
Nope, third.
Oh, good for you. But
You did that!
Kind of reminds me of me in some way. So that's that when it comes to the way that I speak. Anyways, I'm working on it, I'm practicing, so that's that. And that's what the YouTube process is for. Anyways, just, you know, practicing, talking, communicating, storytelling, and whatever. And, you know, if I get better at it, great. If not, then that's just who I am, and just take it or leave it. If you think I'm annoying, don't watch. Next is, I guess, the more shocking comments that I got. Okay. And there was a whole cohort of people who, I guess, were shaming me for not speaking up and saying no or saying stop, or, you know, stopping the massage when it got uncomfortable and just leaving, you know, saying things like, You're an adult. If you felt uncomfortable at any point, you could have stopped it, got up and walked out. Sounds more like you had an ulterior motive to stay there for so long, knowing what they were doing. Your voice is so stupid, you deserve whatever happens to you if you decide not to speak up for yourself. Your voice is making my ears bleed. Literally could have gotten up. These are the people who claim sexual assault when she continued to lay there by choice, but now she's so uncomfortable when she easily could have left. How do you have 25,000 subscribers? Why you didn't leave is beyond me. Clickbait. What a waste of time listening to your story where nothing even happened. If you truly felt uncomfortable, you would have covered your breasts and you would have not asked how much. Come up with a better story next time. And then, you know, there's just a bunch of comments like, oh, you wanted it, you knew that was gonna happen, blah, 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 and so on. But yeah, the comments about, you know, me not just getting up and walking out and I'm an adult and, you know, if I'm an adult, then I should say, you know, no, I don't want this. And oh man, I don't even know where to start with that. So there's this thing. Oh my God, guys. OMG. So there's this thing called the freeze response. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of it before, but it's a stress response, just like fight or flight. Okay, but in the freeze response, you kind of just freeze and you're numb and your body disconnects from your mind. And it's almost like you play dead and you're in survival mode to survive. So you just play dead, you camouflage, you lie there and you just completely disconnect. Okay. And you know, I can say that's pretty much what happened to me. I was in disbelief and I just kind of held my breath and I was like, okay, you know what? It's going to be over at some point. I'm just going to hold my breath and lay here and let it happen and whatever. And that's it, you know? I mean, I have nothing else to say other than that. Just because I'm an adult doesn't mean I can, you know, be able to say no in an uncomfortable situation. Okay. These things happen every day to people in, let me say, very much so more dangerous situations, okay? So anyways, you know, this wasn't that much of a dangerous situation, but it was still uncomfortable and it was uncomfortable for me, you know? And then a lot of comments, you know, said, oh, why did you ask how much if you know you didn't want it and so on and so on. And I can understand how that was kind of misleading. And I guess I didn't explain myself properly because I'm not a super great storyteller. But I asked her how much because after having said no many times, you know, she asked me again and I didn't know what else to say. Like, I can't even explain to you like why those words came into my mouth and why I said it. But I looked at her and I said, how much? And she said, you know, the price. And then I said, no thanks, just regular, just want to pay this much for a regular massage, you know? Because she wouldn't stop. So yeah, I don't have a better explanation for you. I wish I did. I think that's just I don't know, like a trauma response or a freeze response or a, I don't know what the F is going on response. So I'm just going to say anything to, you know, maybe if I say something different, it'll get across. I don't know. And also, friends, can we talk about boundaries for a second? Let's talk about boundaries. Okay. I don't think it's really nice to say to people, you know, you should have just had the massage, just lighten up, just enjoy it, nah. Like, I don't know if you've seen my other videos. I'm pretty open to trying stuff. You know, I've done some stuff. I wouldn't say it's like crazy stuff, but I'm not like that close-minded. I'm open to doing things and so on. But that doesn't make me immune to having boundaries, okay? Just because I've tried some stuff doesn't mean I'm not allowed to say no to other things, you know? When I go get a massage, it's for relaxation purposes only. It doesn't really turn me on to get a happy ending. Like, that's my boundary. That's my limit. I'm not into it, and I'm allowed to have that. It doesn't make me a prude. It doesn't make me anything other than who I am, a human being with limits and boundaries. And you could shit all over that if you want. I don't know how I can explain that any more clearly. But, you know, shaming somebody for having boundaries is not really that cool. So I'll leave that there. And FYI, the reason why I am open to trying certain things is because I feel comfortable, I feel safe, I feel protected, and I trust my partner that I'm with to do these things with. If I'm in an environment where I'm not feeling that great, I don't feel that safe, I feel kind of gross, you know, my defense mechanisms are just gonna go up, I'm gonna feel uncomfortable, I'm gonna tense up, I'm gonna close up, I'm not gonna be comfortable to do things and to be open to things. That's just like common sense, no? Okay, and I think 98% of the people that watch this video are men. There's actually 2% female, which I'd love to know who those 2% female are. And by the way, I don't blame you for not jumping into the comments, because when you're jumping into a pool of angry men like that, yeah, not super fun, not super fun. And this brings me to something that I found interesting, was that in one of my very first videos that I filmed last year about trying a sex club with my boyfriend for the first time, first and only time actually, I was explaining that in these places, they usually don't allow single males to come. You need to be accompanied by a woman or another couple or something like that, but single men are not allowed. And there were a few men that would make comments like, that is so sexist, how come single men are unallowed, na na na, na na na, na na na. So single men usually aren't allowed in these places because, unfortunately, you know, there is a stigma of, you know, men being more predatory towards women, especially in these kind of places. I mean, as a woman myself, in a regular club, not a sex club, but in a regular club, you know, you get approached a lot. Often, you know, men don't take no for an answer. And again, I'm not talking about all men here. I don't want to put you all in one basket at all, but you know, there are some men who are like that. So it doesn't really allow for a safe space for a woman, especially in a sex club environment, to feel comfortable, to feel free, to feel open to explore sexuality, either if it's with her partner or if it's with other people. And so on. So they try to, you know, limit that discomfort by setting some boundaries and rules and so on. And yes, you know, it sucks, like it's not fair for everybody, for every male. But, you know, it is what it is, and I'm sure there are sex clubs that let single men go. But if for a second, okay, we think about the men, I guess, who've watched this video or who have left comments sort of shaming me for, you know, not shutting up and just taking it, and, you know, shaming me for having boundaries, or shaming me for, you know, not taking it and crying about it later. Imagine those men in a sex club, okay? And I don't know if all those men are single or not, but let's assume for the sake of the argument that they are single, are in a space like that, in a sex club. Can you imagine a woman wanting to go spend time there and like have fun and explore and enjoy her sexuality? Like, no, I don't think so. I mean, I can't. It would scare the shit out of me. It doesn't seem like it would be very inviting. I guess that's why, you know, these kinds of places are sexist or whatever. But again, I don't really have that much experience. I've been to 2 in my life. So, you know, for those of you who do frequent these places very often, please enlighten me and let me know about, well, not just me, but please enlighten all of us about, you know, the rules on, you know, single males and the lifestyle and, you know, going to these clubs and stuff like that. Okay, so finally, I don't want to make this video too long. I also think that this has affected in some way the way that I talk about sex and relationships and such online. So when I started this YouTube channel 2 years ago, I would say to myself, it'll be interesting to share funny, interesting stories about, you know, sex and relationships and whatever, and like, let's just laugh about it and have fun about it and be open and sharing these things and make it a safe space for people to kind of, you know, share experiences and, you know, not feel so much shame and just, I guess, normalize it a little bit more. And when I look back at those videos, I was super confident. You know, I'd be like, hi everybody. I'd be doing hair flips, I think, a lot more. And be like, this is me, I'm Ali, and I'm here talking about my sexual exploration and so on. You know, I was a lot more sexually active. That was like 2 years ago. But I had just gotten in that new relationship with Gab, and we were trying some stuff, so I was very excited about it, you know? But yeah, just like the way I presented myself on camera, and I was like more fluid and and now I feel like I'm a little bit more tense. And I was like, why is that, you know? And I think when I started YouTube, I was kind of a virgin. So I was coming into it on a clean slate, you know, not really knowing how things were going to pan out, what kind of attention I was going to get. And it made it a lot easier to just sort of be free. But now 2 years in, that I've gotten, you know, a lot of really good, positive feedback as well. I know there are a lot of silent subscribers out there because, again, I mean, I have 25,000 subscribers, so I assume that the people that are hating me aren't following me or aren't subscribing, but I don't know. Anyways, I know that I have a lot of silent subscribers, especially women who message me privately. So they don't often comment publicly, but they'll message me privately, which again, I really appreciate. And just really nice feedback from subscribers, and you know, soft criticism as well to help me improve my videos, improve my technique, and so on. So I really appreciate all that support, you know, but I also can't deny on a subconscious level, you know, the negative feedback that I've gotten, as much as I try to make it funny and, you know, because there's definitely humor in it, like you have to have humor in it. On a subconscious level, I think it's made me more aware and more self-conscious about, you know, what I'm sharing online and what my limits are and what my boundaries are, and picking and choosing more selectively what I choose to share with you guys. But I think it's all a part of the process, you know, and moving forward with YouTube and connecting with people and connecting with the community and, you know, figuring out what my boundaries are and what my limits are. Because sometimes these conversations are, you know, they're just so fun to have, But, you know, in due time. Anyways, I'm getting super hot right now. I am sweating. I don't think the AC is working. So I'm gonna leave that there. All right, thank you guys so much for listening, supporting, all that stuff. If you got shit to say about this video, drop them in the comments below. I won't delete it. If you got some nice things to say, some soft criticism, please feel free to do that as well. Oh, and also, thank you so much to those, again, on that other video who provided some support, who looked, you know, beyond the whole, like, you can't talk, you say like 25,000 times you wanted it, you could have gotten up at any time, you're an adult, blah, 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 and, you know, acknowledged just, you know, how I was feeling in that situation, I guess, and also gave me some soft criticism for the way that I delivered the story. So anyways, friends, that's it. I am super sweaty. You guys can't see, but I have under boob sweat going on right now. I'm gonna go take a shower. Thank you all, je vous aime. I did end up getting a yoni massage, by the way, from a very nice woman.